Evening one and all. I, Dr. Prabjot Kaur, in the capacity of Convener, Department of Business Administration, IIT Lucknow, heartily welcome the students and learned academic fraternity for the session on managerial skills and interpersonal dynamics. I would also take the opportunity to welcome and introduce the eminent and renowned speaker, Professor Santosh Rangnekar, for the session. Professor Santosh Rangnekar is associated as Professor, Department of Management Studies, IIT Roorkee. He has been continuously engaged in training and MDPs over his work tenure with a rich experience in academics and industry. He has a number of research papers and awards in his name. He
Yes,
has
madam.
presented.
You have last 1 minute, please. Just okay.
Sir,
That's fine.
please let. Okay, sir. The list of academic credentials is quite long, sir, in your name, that it could not be described in few minutes. Therefore, not wasting time, as per requisition, I would request you to please enlighten us with the ocean of knowledge. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, madam. At the outset, I convey my sincere thanks for giving me this opportunity to organize and conduct this particular webinar. I am sure that this will help the students for enriching their development of managerial skills. In fact, this topic is taken as interpersonal dynamics. Therefore, it is applicable to the BTech students also and the MBA students also and students of the other courses also. Now here, when we are talking about the what is the need of this particular webinar. Now, when we talk about the ability of the executives, always there are the four abilities which are very much required. First and foremost is that is the job knowledge. Whatever your specialization is there, and that particular specialization, one should have that knowledge. It might be from the finance and marketing, HR, operations, or IT. So first and foremost competency, and that is the job knowledge is there. The second one, which is equally important, that is the HR skills, human relation skills. A competent person can be successful with the HR skills and technical skills, but a competent person cannot be successful without HR skill and only on the basis of technical skills. Technical skills means job knowledge is there. I would like to take the example of the Roorkee Modi. Roorkee Modi was the known for the IR executive in the Tata Steel Industries. But when he joined the Air India, then that leadership was not that effective. It means that is the as soon as the situation changes, organization changes, your HR skills are also required to change because you find different types of personalities. One example is that is of the horse. Those who are into this webinar, they can also answer in the chat column also and can ask the questions also. So for example, the horse. Anybody can write what is the strength and weakness of the horse? You can write on this chatting box. Any participant can say what is the strength of the horse and what is the weakness of the horse. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
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 sir.
So yes, any student can he she write in this chat box that is what is the strength of the horse and what is the weakness of the horse. Okay, very good, very good. So therefore we find that is the Abhishek has answered that is a capacity to work for long and power. So horse strength is the power. That's why we say that it is the horsepower. What is the weakness of the horse? Can Abhishek, can you write what is the weakness of the horse? Or any participant can write what they understand the weakness of a horse. Horse? Okay. Uh, so therefore, the weakness of the horse is that horse is not able to focus. Though it is having the power, but if you want to make the use of the power of the horse, you have to put the flip before the eyes. रकाब लगाना पड़ता है आंखों के आगे रकाब लगाना पड़ता है so that they get use the direction. Similarly, in the organization, there will be certain employees, those who are having the high potential, but they may not be able to give the performance. To give that performance, there the direction is required. And when you give the direction, they are able to work. Now, this is the beautiful example of the interpersonal relations. Unless and until you do not have the strong interpersonal relations, you will not be able to focus on the work with your high potential. Somebody is required to provide you the direction. And that's why these interpersonal needs and directions, they become very, very important. Now, I would like to share the next slide. Now go through this particular slide. This is a slide by the World Economic Forum. And in the World Economic Forum, they talk about that is in the 2022, what skills are required. The growing skills required by these students is in future managers, analytical thinking and innovation, actual learning and learning strategies, like you are talking about this webinar, and therefore it is an example of the actual learning and how you are still in the lockdown period also you are learning. Then the creativity, originality and initiative. Now business scenario, even after this COVID-19, you will find that is the it will be becoming a problem. That is the how to enhance the business. Business has to identify the new solutions, and that will cause the actual creativity and originality. Now, for this purpose, the current growing skills are required is a technology design and programming. Unless and until you are not technically strong, you will not be able to deliver the business. In HR skills, the persons are required to have the critical thinking, complex problem solving, and leadership. This you have to learn. That is the whatever you see, you are able to convert that information into knowledge, that knowledge into wisdom, and that wisdom into truth. So data into information, information into knowledge, knowledge into wisdom, and wisdom into truth. So that will create the complex problem solving approach. Whatever the problems are there, you will be able to solve. I would like to give the example of the washing machine. One of the washing machines in Punjab, they were having the very low sale. As a result, the marketing share of the washing machine was going very down. What marketing manager has done? He has proposed that washing machine for the use of making lassi in Punjab. And the customers were the dhabas one. So therefore, in that case, that is how that particular problem that this selling of the washing machine that has been solved. You see, they always believe there is a solution to the problem. In by the 2022 these skills, it becomes very important. The business problems, as usual, they will be existing, and with the current difficult situation, they may increase also and likely to increase. And in that case, when you will join the job, it becomes very important that you are able to solve those complex problems which the businesses are likely to face. Next is leadership and social influence. When we are talking about how to handle the difficult situation, when we're talking about the initiative, these are the leadership skills are there. Next skills which will be required, that will be required emotional intelligence. Dear students, I understand in this lockdown period, when you are you are staying in the house only. So in that case, after some period of time, there might be that you are getting the certain emotional disturbances, because the socialization process will be online, but offline there will not be any socialization process, so which will disturb the human being's life, which is natural. Now those who will be able to manage their emotional intelligence, then definitely they will be having the balanced attitude and balanced look towards this particular problem. The reasoning, problem solving, and ideation is the next growing skill which will be required by the businesses. And last but not the least, please see the growing skill number 1 and growing skill number 10. They are becoming very, very important, and those are analytical skills. So if you are developing yourself in these skills, the chances of the success in the business at the workplace will be better. Here, this creativity, critical thinking, complex problem solving, leadership and social influence, emotional intelligence, reasoning and problem solving and ideation, these are called the interpersonal and HR skills are there. Because of short of time, I will not go into the declining, but here you can go through and then see that is whatever the managerial skills earlier we were understanding, that is this will be the requirement to be an effective manager, then that has been changed into the growing skills are there. So these declining skills are not that much required as compared to growing skills. Now when we are talking about the relationships, now here you have to understand the human relationship, HR, and the IR, industrial relationship. When we are talking about the IR, industrial relationships are the relationships which are based on the employer-employee relationship related to the terms and conditions of employment, employee and employee relationship, and employer and employee relationship. So it is between the employer and employer, employee and employee, and employer and employee. Now, when we talk about the interpersonal skills, HR skills, HR human relationship skills, so these relationships are keep on constantly changing. The value system in society is changing. The work culture in the organization is changing. I always give examples to my students. That is, when we compare the workforce in Maruti vis-a-vis the workforce in Hyundai in Korea, then it is totally different. A large number of workforce is required in India. However, a very small workforce is required in the Hyundai organization in Korea. Now, this type of the changing of workforce, that is creating the culture also. Because machines are more, manpower is less. So when we are talking about the man-machine relationship, so that relationship is also changing. Whatever the less number of the employees are there, if they are not able to work as a team, what is the difference between the group and team? A group means number of persons, they are working without coordination and synergy. But when this group is becoming the team, it means those whoever are working in the organization, different departments, different sections, different level of employees, all are working together, and therefore they are converting themselves into team. This conversion of the group into team, it requires maintenance. Interpersonal relationship requires maintenance. No relationship will continue for a long time if there is no lubrication. And what is that lubrication? How to maintain that relationship? how to initiate that relationship, that we will see in further slides. But maintaining the interpersonal relationship, whether the personal or at the workplace, professional life, it requires commitment. An employee's commitment will create the engagement at the workplace or in the family also. If you want your family member is to be get engaged in the family, in the relationship with other family members, if you want your employee should be engaged at the workplace as an employee engagement, there are three factors are very, very important. First and foremost is according to Shofali, this work is done as a work engagement by Shofali. That book is also you can refer. Now, these three factors are, one is the vigor. What is the vigor? Vigor is the energy. How do we gain the energy? We gain the energy with the help of food. So we have to be very careful that if you want to increase the concentration, if you want to increase the relationship, then in that case, our thought process, the brain, working style of brain, it also depends on the food, and that food will determine our personality trait. I would like to give the example of happiness. What do you think? Happiness is hereditary or it is non-hereditary? However, we are not interacting in chat also, but some of you may say that remaining the happy is personality. Some persons who are remain very happy, it is not because of the heredity, maybe it is because of the environment. No. 50% cause of to be remain happy is heredity, and 40% is the environment, and 10% is situation. So therefore, do you understand how the happiness depends on the 50% on heredity? Because of secretion of hormones. Do you know which hormone secretion creates make you happy? That is dopamine. So secretion of dopamine, that is the hereditary factor. More will be the secretion of dopamine, more will be the happiness, and more will be the happiness, more will be the engagement and committed person. Therefore, in many times I see in the Facebook also, that is this young generation, millennium generation, what they do, that is on the weekend. On weekend, they are committed. And as soon as the week starts, they are not committed. So therefore, what is that issue is? Issue is they are creating a very temporary happiness. So therefore, the first and foremost, the requirement for the happiness is that is the vigor. Vigor is required. Your food habits, your way of taking the nutrition, then relating to that secretion of dopamine. Now another question comes. If the hereditarily, if person is not able to secrete that hormone of dopamine, how will he remain happy? I am sure the formula which I mentioned, on basis of that you can answer. If our happiness heredity is 40%, then in that case, we can increase the environment from 40% to 50% to make it 100%. So therefore, in that case, it becomes very, very important. That is, we create an environment at the workplace. In interpersonal relationship, it becomes very important that we are creating an environment at the workplace. People work like a family member. They are having the trust, they are having the optimism, and they are having the happiness. If this type of the work environment and work culture is created, the performance of the employee, that will be very high, and it will create the healthy relationship at the workplace. Now, in the relations commitment, it involves a promise sometimes. And therefore, in that case, this creation of the promise that implied and sometimes it is explicit. Simple example, in the interpersonal relationship, the punctuality. The punctuality, that is the commitment to come and meet and report at a particular time. And that is the implied consequence of the relationship. If the relationship at the workplace is strong, whatever the time you have given to your employees, employees will be able to come and they will like to come to make the relationship more and more successful. So these are the characteristics of the relationship which are the in the given constantly changing social scenario, in given constantly changing the work culture, if you are able to maintain the commitment vigor, if you are able to maintain the absorption, again absorption is also a dedication to your workplace. If you are able to concentrate more, you will be able to absorb more, and as a result of which you will be having the high commitment. And last is that is the that dedication to work. So the if this type of the work culture is there, then there will be the relationship is there. Now, how we form the relationships? Interestingly, when you will appear for the interview, you may say the first impression is the last impression, because you are creating a perception in the minds of others. When you see somebody and on basis of seeing the person, the appearance, in the early stages of relationship, it plays a very, very important role. So partners, when they create a positive illusion, when they find that is the appearance is liked, then many times the relationship starts. Viewing another as more attractive and that attracts the person, that appearance and relationship starts. Many times it is the similarity. When you are interacting, there are the exchange of thoughts, there are exchange of ideas, and during this exchange of thought and ideas, you find, oh, the other person is also having the similar thought, and you develop the friendship. The same thing happens at the workplace also. At the workplace, you are attending a meeting, and during meeting you find that is somebody, another participant of the meeting is also supporting your ideas. So you find the similarity, and then therefore you develop as a likely colleague, because we will not say the friendship at the workplace. At the personal relationship, it is a friendship. But when we talk about at the workplace, we say that the similarity of ideas that create the strong binding amongst the employees. Third is competence. As I mentioned, that is the formula of successful relationship is ability into motivation into opportunity. So ability is, there is a job knowledge and HR skills. These HR skills, job knowledge will create two more skills. That is the conceptual skills and analytical skills. When you are strong in these four skills, technical skills, human skills, conceptual skills, and analytical skills, you are developing the competency, dear friend. Please don't forget this formula of competence. This is developing the ability. So competency is that is the having the all the technical skills, HR skills, conceptual skills, and analytical skills. When you find the people surrounding to you, those who are strong in this, they're strong in HR skills also, they're strong in developing the relationship also. then in that case, these talented people will be making you more successful. At workplace, try to keep the competent person surrounding to you. But here, there is a word of caution. The word of caution is this: many times the competent persons may not have good HR skills. And don't forget, in the formula, any skill becomes zero, overall relationship will become zero. In relationship, the next formula is in the ability, in the formula is A, and then it was multiplied by M. M is motivation, that is willingness. Relationship cannot be one-sided. Relationship, as I mentioned earlier in earlier slide, relationship requires lubrication, it requires maintenance. Similarly, relationship that requires willingness also. Relationship is a two-way process, dear friends. So in the two-way process, be rational and logical. Develop emotional intelligence, whether in the professional life or in the personal life. When in the professional and personal life, if there is no willingness by the other side, you cannot convert only on the basis of your power and authority that relationship. Don't exercise your power and authority to develop the relationship. That is, it is a very, very hypothetical relationship. It is just like a bubble in the water, because whenever there will be the power and authority, the person will say yes boss, and as soon as the power and authority will go away, the person will not have the relationship with you, and then in that case there will be, you will not be able to have the competent person surrounding to you. So people make the relationship because of appearance, because of the similarity of thoughts, because of the competence that is they possess. And whenever you interact with somebody, you can identify whether the person is disclosing the right information or not. Suppose you require the use of Excel sheet, and you ask your friend or your colleague that I want to use the Excel sheet, will you please help me? And in that case, if he reveals the information, a friend in need is friend indeed. If at the required time, your colleague, your friend is revealing the information, and that can help you to build the relationship. If the person is competent, you know, he knows that. But if he is not sharing the information, sorry, then in that case, it will not be the relationship development. However, when he is disclosing something, sometimes that disclosure may break the relationship also, dear friends. So be careful about that. Next is the proximity. To develop the relationship with people, we interact very frequently. And unless and until you do not interact with them, kindly understand, you will not know the person. Take away this particular concept. Don't develop the relationship without interacting frequently. When you will frequently interact, then only, at least I will say, you will be able to see the tips of the iceberg, that is what type of personality is there. I will also share with you, dear friends, that is, even after interact frequently for so many years, you may find you have just seen the tips of the iceberg and you have not really seen the island. So therefore, in that case, please understand. But however, even for that much minimum relationship, frequently interaction is very, very necessary. Don't convert any interaction in relationship without frequently meeting. Now, sometimes that familiarity can also breed the contempt that is the most aggravated assault occur within the family. Here, those who know your strengths and weaknesses at the workplace, they may be the person to assault you. Those who do not know your strengths and weaknesses, they will not assault you because and even they try to assault, they will not be successful. But those who know your weaknesses, how they come to know your weaknesses? Because of your relationship. Because of your competencies disclosure, because of your proximity, and as a result of which you will find that is they will assault at you. So what to do? It means then you may say that is, sir, should not we go for the relationship? No, we have to go to the relationship. How it is to be developed, that I will talk in my further slide with the help of Kahn's model. What Kahn's model talks about how to develop the relationship. Now, it is always an exchange theory. Emotions are given and emotions are received. When मैंने तुम्हारे लिए इतना किया, तुमने मेरे लिए क्या किया? And therefore, in that sense, you please understand the social exchange theory naturally exists. Relationship that gives us rewards greater than or equal to the cost of relationship. If I have done you, I have helped you 10 times, and you have also helped me similarly, our relationship will continue for the long time. But if the support, the help, the giving is only from one side, maybe the emotional support giving is only from one side, then that relationship may continue. You may work in the organization with your boss for a long time, but in fact, it is a symbolic relationship and it is the positional relationship and it is not in true sense relationship. If you want to convert that symbolic relationship and that positional relationship in true relationship, then the rewards from both the sides are must. Otherwise, the life of the relationship will not be for a long period of time. Now, this is my favorite model which I like to talk, that is called Kahn's model of relationship. Now, because of this is online, so that I was talking to Prabjot Kaur madam, this is the limitation of online, that is the interaction is that much is not possible. But here you see the pattern 5, right? Here this graph is between the relationship and time. So on the x-axis is the time, on the y-axis is the relationship. So what do you see in this graph? In this graph you see suddenly some people, they develop a high relationship and then they decline, with period of time then decline. But because they are in the organization or in the family, again they little bit develop, compromise with that relationship. Again you will find the peak is there. And then again there will be decline. Again there will be the issue of promotion, there will be the issue of rewards, and that's the situation with the period of time, and then again you develop the relationship. So it goes to the peak. And as soon as you receive your reward, you say thank you and bye-bye, and again there is a decline of relationship. I hope that is you have understood this graph. However, in the last 10 minutes, we will also have the question answer sessions. So that time also you can ask the questions. You can put your questions in the chat column also. So I will be happy to answer those questions in the last 10 minutes without disturbing this webinar. Okay. Now this is the pattern one. Pattern one, when you meet for a short period of time, you just meet, you become friends, you are becoming very good colleagues, and then you get separation. And then that is done. So this is a relationship, that is an interpersonal relationship, this go up and goes down. Then this is a pattern two. Pattern two is now there is a frequently interaction with the another person with period of time, and during that interaction you go to the top, up to certain extent you go to the top, and then you decline, because you might be knowing the stages of team formation. In the team formation, there is a forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So in the beginning, the first decline is there because there will be the storming stage. What is the storming stage? Simple example, you join the hostel, you are having the roommate, and the roommate says, रात को लाइट नहीं लगाने का, मुझे नींद नहीं आती. You say, लाइट लगाए बगैर मुझे नींद नहीं आती. What you will do? Warden has allotted you the one room. Warden is not, you will go to the warden with this reason, then you get more scold only. And that is the warden says, ये क्या issue बचपना जैसा लेके आए हो? I will not change your room. But no problem is problem. So there is a storming is there. Now what is the solution for this storming? So forming will be there when two personalities will come together, husband and wife, or two colleagues, or the boss and subordinates, or two friends, two roommates. When they interact, then there will be certain storming. You also see in Hindi movies very well this type of these scenes. And then there will be the fight. But then they decide, okay, let us have some compromises. So we will make the partition. So I will make certain the eye covers, and I will use those eye covers, or you will have for some time until this up to this particular time only, and then there will be certain more solutions you can think of. Students can think of more solutions, and then they will say, okay, the storming is there. Once storming is done, light wala problem is over, then they find, oh, they are having the similarity. Again, they become friends. So now the second hype goes away because you are frequently interacting. And during interactions, you find, chalega, itna bhi bura nahi hai. And therefore, relationship goes up. And therefore, there is a second peak is there in pattern 2. But again, there are personalities, there is something problem, then again there is a decline. इस बार कोई तीसरा ही issue आ जाता है. Sharing of information has not done. Disclosure is the problem. He was knowing, he has not shared timetable. He was knowing there was a webinar, he has not shared, and as a result of which he is getting learned only and not allowing me to get learned. So therefore, in that case, there will be decline. But then the person will say, no, there is a miscommunication, because the communication plays a very important role in interpersonal relationship. And therefore, there will be the peak in the third time, and then it will be the relationship, course will be over, organization jobs will be over, you will join another organization, and there will be declining will be there. So therefore, you will find with period of time, there were certain disturbances, but ultimately the relationship has sustained for the long period of time and the high peaks are there. Now pattern 3 is very, very interesting. You see that, oh, it's a gloomy picture. You find, oh my God, now it is a bright picture. And then you see, array, this was the person I was looking for. It is on the basis of appearance, dear friends. On the basis of appearance, you say, spend some time together and then you say, oh, you are made for it. This is the organization where it was my dream organization. I was looking for this organization. So peak goes very high. In the first time period only, in first interaction period. But then you find, oh, your boss, the work culture, it is not good. It is just like that is your newly wedded daughter-in-law when she enters into the in-laws house. So she says, oh, everything is fantastic because my husband is fantastic. So therefore, the pig goes to the and then it declines and it goes down. Sorry, 1 minute. Haji. Case you will find that is okay, and therefore in that case you will find that that is your peak which was very high and then it has gone to the down. So what has happened? Then you find that is the daughter-in-law feels that is no, this is not the in-laws house. So she will say to the husband, no, let us change the job and go to the another city. And then there will be the declining is there. Then there will be certain compromises by the time you get the another job, another choice. Again, there will be the peak will be high, then decline. But again, here the second peak is lower than the first peak. And then again, there will be the rise and there will be the fall. So pattern 3 will be also having the fall, which is the maximum is there. In pattern 4, slow with the period of time, goes up with the period of time, and the decline is there. And finally, when we compare all these 5 patterns, what do you think? Which pattern is the best, which is having the interrelationship development? In chat box, you can put your answer. That is out of these 5 pattern, which is the best pattern for the interpersonal relationship. And when you will comment this that is the this particular pattern is the more and more is the best according to you. I will discuss it with you in the last 10 minutes. Now the relationship is developed, but now it is a question of maintenance. That is the how to maintain this relationship is there. Now there are 3 factors: coming together, relational maintenance, and coming apart. It is going up, then there is a stability, and then it is going down. Now, how it goes? As I mentioned, with the when you are by position in the workplace, that is initiating. In the family, because you are the member of the family, you are initiating, maybe with your siblings, then you are having the experimenting. At workplace, please see, give some time to experiment. Don't reach to the result. And therefore, in that case, it is the experimenting is there. After experimenting, you find it is positive result is there. Yes, intensifying is there. These stages are also explained further in detail, but here I would like to introduce all these stages. When you are becoming intensified with somebody, and as a result of which you become one, we are not two. We are 2 bodies and 1 soul. We are team. In the organization, this is a team. That is a team is created, and that is the integrating is there. And when there is an integration is there, and there will be the bonding will be developed. Now, on the basis of the factors which I have mentioned earlier, And these are stairs by which you have reached to the top stair of bonding. The experimenting is becoming a very, very important role. And therefore, in that case, how long this relational maintenance has to be done. What is the relational maintenance? Relationship is there, strong bonding is there, but don't forget my formula of rewards and lubrication. It is the give and take. It will be give and take only when you are able to maintain that relationship. Simple two factors I would like to share with you. One is continuous communication. When you are having with your team member a communication with period of time with the regular intervals frequently, that will play a role of lubrication in interpersonal relationship. So if you want to develop the relationship with your boss, superior subordinate relationship, I would like to check here, then it is the responsibility of the subordinate that keep on making the communication with the superior. And therefore, when you say good morning, sir, and then it is nothing but expression of the respect and regards and relationship. By this way of communication is there. The way you communicate, you represent your relationship. The better you communicate, better will be the relationship. Second is collaboration. What is collaboration? Collaboration means working together. Out of sight, out of mind. In this case of difficult situation of the COVID, we have seen that is the many children are not staying with their parents, maybe other cities or other countries, and the parents are old age parents especially, they are into problems. Now who will help them? The relationship which they have developed with the society. It might be neighbors, it might be relatives, it might be colleagues from the workplace, and they will help you. So even after your retirement, you are in touch, people are in contact with you. So communication and collaboration. Keep on communicating to maintain the relationship, positive communication. Communication means not that is a criticism. If you have something problem, you please go for the feedback, but not that is a criticism. So communication and working together. Have spent some time together. You may give the everything to another person, but if you are not spending time together, so that relationship will require high efforts to maintain, dear friends. It will not get easy to maintain that relationship when you are physically apart and far places, and whether it is the parent-children relationship. So those who will be close, those who are in a position to help and support, they will be having the better relationship. And there are so many other factors also. So that is making the differentiating. And if there is no communication, there is no collaboration, relationship differentiates. So if you are not in the sight of your supervisor, superior, then in that case, out of sight, out of mind, and therefore no relationship is existing. But always in the workplace, this is expected from the junior level of the employees or subordinates. In the family, this is expected from the children. That is, they are in the constant touch with their parents and make them make them feel that is, though they are physically away, but they are always with them and they love them, they regards them. But if it is not, differentiating starts. If differentiating starts, you are coming after 2 years and 3 years from abroad, you are in USA, you are coming after 2 years and 3 years to the parents, then it will be circumscribing. If you were not with us in the difficult time, so then there is what is the role of the children? What is the role of subordinates? What is the role of these juniors when they are not able to make that communication and support and help? So it will be the situation of the circumscribing. Now there is darar. That darar is there, gap is there, and then it will be getting the stagnating, and this stagnating, it is a part of coming apart, close of relationship, and therefore that will be the stagnating will be there. And how you will come to know? You will come to know people start avoiding you. You are listening the rings, but you are not picking the phone. You have sent the WhatsApp message, but it is not now blue. It is never blue. Delivered, but not blue. And therefore, in that case, that is the avoiding will be there, and people stop communicating. And in childhood, how were expressing the conflict? You were doing putti. बात करने से मना कर देते, कुट्टी कर देते थे. वो इधर से आ रहा है तो मैं उधर से निकल जाऊंगा. So therefore, in that case, that is the avoiding is started, and avoiding starts. Not meeting, not communicating, no hello, no hi, no blue lines in the WhatsApp. So therefore, that is a terminating of the relationship is there. So dear friends, from coming together, blue circle, to the pink circle coming apart, there are certain common factors. And those common factors, you are able to maintain, your relationship will go for the long time. Prabjot Kaur madam, please 10 minutes before stop me, because I do not know what are your timings then in that case. Okay. Now here, already I have mentioned about the escalation, experimenting, very short, want to make the favorable first impression, observe the general appearance and the mannerisms, use the standard greetings, hello, how are you, experimenting is there. Now here experimenting is there because that frequent interaction is there. And as a result of the frequent interaction, then you have to continue the relationship. Right, and then you will decide, you will ask a question to yourself कि भाई ये अनुभव हुआ है. अब अनुभव क्या कहता है? अनुभव ये कहता है कि काम से काम रखो और विदा करो. That is, just keep the formal relationship and let them work according to their style, because there is no softness in the professional hierarchy or the organization structure, and therefore in that case it will be the part of that particular relationship. And then, because I give a lot of emphasis on experimenting, dear friends, be rational. You are the management graduates, you are an educated person, so you should not be very highly emotional only. You should be emotional with intelligence, emotionally intelligent. You find that the other person is helping you, he is saying yes to you, he is doing your job, so then definitely in that case, that experiment is positive, go ahead for the lifetime. Even the employees leave the job, you can continue. But in the case, the experiment says No, this is the okay professional relationship. So therefore you decide to continue or not to continue. Sometimes you can ask the zodiac sign also. नहीं भाई, राशि नहीं मिल रही है, पत्रिका नहीं मिल रही है, इसीलिए सुबह उठ के ब्रेकअप कर लेना ही अच्छा है. एक सुबह उठ के मैंने ब्रेकअप कर लिया. So that is the experimenting will be done. Right. Okay. Now, again, intensifying, integrating, and bonding. Already, I have explained this. That is how they will, the persons will getting. And you see, in integrating, automatically you start saying we rather than I or you. So therefore, we have decided. Not like this, I have decided and what is your decision. So that communication, that will be making you the clear. And dear friends, that bonding will be formal or legal announcement of relationship, that is the joining the organization, or socially it can be the marriage or in the business agreements, MOU, or very few relationships will ever reach this level. So therefore, otherwise it is a termination is there. Differentiating me no longer, again it starts me. मैंने ऐसा किया, मैंने क्या क्या नहीं किया इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए, मैंने तुम्हारे लिए क्या नहीं किया. And therefore in that case it starts me rather than we. Become more independent, then person is not asking to do his or her jobs to you, and rather than doing oneself or maybe getting the another person. As I mentioned, यहाँ पे कमी नहीं है लोगों की relationship develop करने की. We are having the huge population, so therefore becoming more independent and start the own hobbies, getting involved. कि तू नहीं और सही, और नहीं और सही. So therefore, in that case, of starting our own hobbies, warning sign that partner needs to address status. जब when your partner is starting avoiding, already I mentioned, then it will be the naturally that is the differentiating. Is the example is there. So still FPS normal. However, in the circumscribing towards each other in all familiar ways. कैसे चल रहा है? बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है. कुछ अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है पर कह रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है. तीसरे के सामने तो हमें दिखाना है कि हम दोनों एक हैं, दो शरीर एक आत्मा. And therefore in the department, if the third person enters in the department, and therefore you will find that is no, that superior subordinates are working together. Sir, we are having the team. We trust each other. Trust is another dimension. I will not go into that. Okay. Shrinking of the interest and commitment, but still appears normal to others. And attempts can be made to get relationship to a positive place again. This is very interesting point, dear friends. Now, if you see this slide, now here you see, we are at the circumscribing. अब ये देखिए ये सीढ़ियाँ कहाँ से कहाँ जा रही है. वन इंटेलिजेंट स्टूडेंट में से सर ये तो लेफ्ट से राइट जा रही है. What it means, that is the वो रिवर्स कर रहा है उस टर्मिनेशन ऑफ रिलेशनशिप को जो सर्कमस्क्राइबिंग पे पहुंच गया है उसको फिर बॉन्डिंग में ले जा रहा है. So therefore in that case, dear friend, this is the ray of hope, ray of light. So that is the attempt can be made in this stage. अभी ज्यादा देर नहीं हुई है, right? Attempts can be made to get relationship to a positive place again in the organization. If you find, dear friends, that is the organization is very good. My one PhD scholar's finding is that is the people don't leave the organization, they leave bosses. People don't leave the husband, they leave the family. So therefore, in that case, be careful. Don't throw the baby with the bath water. And attempts are to be made to develop a positive place again is there. But as you see in the diagram, stagnating will come. Hollow shell of former safe. इसमें दम ही क्या है? ये नाटक भी कब तक चलेगा? outside tend to notice that something is wrong, avoiding. Unsuccessful couples deal with their problems by avoidance, indirectness, less involvement is there, and there will be the terminating. Last and final stage of the relationship, and it's very sad that a good employee resigns a good organization, and relationship is there completely over, and there could be a divorce or roommates moving out depending on each person's feeling. This stage can be quite short or drawn out over time. This is the point, dear friends. Those five graphs which I have shown you, Kahn's model, and therefore in that case you will find that the peak is very sharp and declining is very sharp. But in sometimes it is long. A long time is there taken to the reached stage 2. As I say, that is the 2. That is the graph pattern number 2. So it goes up and then it naturally it has to go down. Difference of opinion is likely to be there. It is a natural. Two personalities are there, but it is can be. But some people they imitate one. Graph number 1 terminating, taking one and quite shorter down out over time and immediately say bye-bye to relationships. So these are the certain factors leading to relationship problems. Yes, sir, Prabjot Kaur madam, how much time is left? Abhishek, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, I am able to hear you. We can take up questions now.
Okay, so before coming to the questions, I would like to go for the one slide, important one more slide, right?
Sure, sir.
These are the factors that now I'm in relationships. There's different models are also there. Dialectical tensions, how the tensions are created in the relationships, and then how to manage those tensions, right? Understanding, repairing the damaged relationships. Now here I will talk about this important point: minor versus significant. Recognize problems for what they are, and therefore in that case it becomes very important. Sometimes there will be the minor issues, trivial issues, but it might be the affecting more. छोटा सा तीर ज्यादा घाव कर सकता है. So then in that case recognize the problem and therefore whether it is really intentional or non-intentional. In IPC you see there is a murder and there is a culpable homicide, hatya or vad, right? So therefore in that case there are different sections are there, 302 and other section is there from so therefore in that case recognize the problems for what they are. Social versus relational. So sometimes that is the repair the damaged relationship in the case of the that is in suppose we in the group of the meeting somebody is insulted, so that is a social. But your relationship with your boss was strong, but suddenly socially in the presence of the other people he is insulted. Now in that case sometimes there is another dimension, like the trust is one dimension in relationship. Another dimension very much important is that is the forgiveness. That is how one can be the having the forgiveness. There are different factors and about that forgiveness. But okay, so deliberate versus unintentional. Always, many times when we are insulted, it is not necessarily with the intentions. It might be because of unintentionally and spontaneously. But this can be the identify this is one time or incremental. हमेशा कैसे भाई याद नहीं रहता है कि बाकी लोग भी हैं और उनके सामने बॉस आपको हमेशा बुरा कह रहा है. इसका मतलब ये है कि it is not unintentional, it is deliberate, and when it is incremental it means deliberate is there. So that is a warning for you कि अब जो है वो इलाज करना पड़ेगा. Then apology. To maintain the relationship, one should learn the apology. An apology requires three elements. An acknowledgement that the translation was wrong, I acted like a jerk. हाँ, ठीक है, वो गलती हो गई, एक्चुअली मुझे ऐसा बोलना भी नहीं था, ऐसा करना नहीं था, मुझे आ जाना चाहिए था, मुझे लेट नहीं होना चाहिए था, I agree and therefore you apologize, that is कि वो जो हो गया वो गलत हुआ है, I agree कि वो हो गया है पर मुझे माफ कर दो. A sincere apology. I am really sorry. I feel awful for letting you down. मेरे कारण आपका जो परफॉर्मेंस था वो अच्छा नहीं हो पाया है, इसके लिए I am really very sorry. A sincere apology is there. That is, it is not, that is the I have intention, but वो हो गया. So but again, it should not be incremental, huh? Some type of compensation. If I act that way again, you can call me on it. अब ये कभी नहीं होगा. और यदि दूसरी बार होता है तो आप मुझे सजा दे सकते हैं. And therefore, that relationship is very important. Then the communication is a meta communication. Meta communication, messages that people exchange verbally or non-verbally about their relationship. And therefore, that becomes very, very important is there. Last slide, which I will share with you, how to rebuild the breaking relationships. ये ठीक है कि एक सवेरे उठकर मैंने ब्रेकअप कर लिया, वो डेट इज फाइन, परंतु फिर लगता है यार गलत कर लिया. तो यदि आपने गलत कर लिया है तो आप उसको रिबिल्ड कीजिए. रिबिल्ड करेंगे, कम्युनिकेट एंड एक्सप्रेस योर इमोशंस. दैट इज दी व्हाटएवर यू हैज डन, the words are the other time is the great healer. If somebody has got hurt by you, your selection of words that will bring the genuineness, and that should be realized. So that you should be enough competent enough to express that communication. Listen to understand, not to reply. यहाँ पे कोई क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन नहीं हो रहा है, कोई क्लासरूम नहीं है कि मैंने पूछा और आपने जवाब दे दिया. वो बिटवीन द लाइन्स वो कहना क्या चाह रहा है. That is the you have insulted me, so it is not his ego is affected. He has got hurt. Try to understand in between the lines, and therefore listen to understand. Realize human errors. Don't idealize partner. सामने वाले को भगवान मत समझिए, वो भी इंसान है, उससे भी गलती हो जाती है, तो हमें वो स्पेस देना होगी, गलतियों को माफ करना होगा. जिंदगी ऐसे ही चलती है. ऐसा नहीं है कि रिपोर्ट बनाने को बोला था, रिपोर्ट नहीं बनाई गिवन टाइम में तो जस्ट डन फिनिश. ये स्टाइल ऑटोक्रेसी स्टाइल नहीं चलेगी. 2 is a relation and 3 is a discussion. Don't involve your mother-in-law when you are fighting with your spouse. Neither the husband's mother-in-law, not the father's mother-in-law, husband's or wife's mother-in-law. So therefore, in that case, 2 is a relation and 3 is a discussion. यहाँ arbitration नहीं करने का है. यहाँ एम्प्लॉय और एम्प्लॉय के बीच में ही बात करने की है. बॉस और सबऑर्डिनेट ही बात करेंगे. एचआर को डालने का जरूरत नहीं है कि एचआर को बुला लिया कि एचआर अब तो ये एचआर ही डिसाइड करेगा. नो, दैट इज रॉन्ग. Assurances and trust building, that is the always go to build the trust. And dear friends, that is the second step of the relationship building. वो जरूर आएगा. मेरे करण अर्जुन आएंगे. That is a trust building is there. I am having any problem, these one person will come and definitely will come. May not come on the horse like in the movie, may get it by the 11th mode of operation. Okay, joint activities involving physical and emotional interactions. मैंने बताया है, physical existence support करता है बहुत सी problems को, सामने वाले को. It acts as a lubrication. सर हम तो ऑनलाइन कर लेंगे, हम ऑनलाइन सब हो जाएगा. अच्छी बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, परंतु जो क्लासरूम के अंदर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, जो एक इंटरेक्शन और जो कम्युनिकेशन होता है, दैट इज बिकमिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. humor and spending time together. Right, जिंदगी इसी का नाम है. So that is the humor is to be there. Sense of humor. Use sense of humor when you are extremely angry. And the maximum stage of your anger, if you use the humor, that is the humor in spending time together. Apologize, accept, regret and mend. Always. छोटा नहीं हो जाता है इंसान अपनी गलती को मान करके और सामने वाले से क्षमा मांग करके वो मांगना चाहिए. यदि गलती हो गई है क्षमा मांगना चाहिए. आदमी छोटा हो या बड़ा हो, बच्चा हो कोई भी हो, say that sorry, this is done. Unconditional acceptance of self and others. वो रिलेशनशिप ही क्या जो कंडीशनल है. So therefore it should be unconditional, but practically it is not. I will tell you that is relationship. When one side I am telling you that your physical presence and communication is must, your rewards are must, these are the lubricants. So therefore lubricants are the mediating and moderating role. They are playing the relationship. So don't avoid that. The relationship will work. And dear friend, lastly, nothing is more important than self-respect for you and the other person. But dear friends, that if the self-respect is lost once only or because of certain situations, then you can build the self-respect again because it is a situational. So forgive the situations and build the best relationship at the work, in the professional life and in the personal life. At the end, I will say, आप सभी को शिव की शक्ति, मीरा की भक्ति, गणेश की सिद्धि, चाणक्य की बुद्धि, शारदा का ज्ञान, कर्ण का दान, राम की मर्यादा और आप सभी को कुबेर की संपदा प्राप्त हो. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me.
Thank you, sir. So it was a wonderful session, and I have been lucky enough to attend, especially these lines which you quote in the last many times. And sir, now I would like to request you to please answer some of the questions which are in the chat box.
Yes, madam. Please read the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Question by Nishan Jaiswal. How shall the interaction be made so that the authority is sustained and also relationship is built?
Very good question. Right. As I mentioned, that is the ability. Ability will make you a survival with the self-respect and developing the relationship. So keep the very high level of the job knowledge. अपने काम के बारे में पूरा जानकारी रखो, ज्यादा ही जानकारी रखो ताकि आप उसको बेस्ट ढंग से कर पाएं. और if you are having that job knowledge, you will be appreciated and recognized in the personal life also and in the professional life. And when you are a competent person, people will like to develop the relationship with you. Relationship तो आपके पीछे पीछे आएगी. यदि आप लोगों के काम के हैं, समाज के लिए आप कुछ कर सकते हैं, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए कुछ कर रहे हैं, तो समाज और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आपके पीछे भागेगा, ना कि आपको जो है वो जॉब चेंज के लिए अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा.
Sir, the other question by Ramesh is how to start a conversation when the person at other end is quite rude and not supportive.
Right, I already mentioned that is the M, motivation, A into M into O. Willingness is required. So I have suggested the relationship building certain steps in those slides, right? One last slide, the way to build the relationship. So try to understand that is the why person is not willing to make the relationship. If there are certain reasons which you can overcome, you can solve, then definitely proceed further. But if there are certain reasons, there first and foremost is no willingness. इच्छा ही नहीं है सामने वाले की आपसे रिलेशनशिप बनाने की, तो रिलेशनशिप इज अ टू वे प्रोसेस, वो तो होगा ही नहीं. अब ये बात अलग है कि पोजिशनल के कारण रिलेशनशिप फैमिली के कारण वो रिलेशनशिप जो है वो लॉन्ग टर्म चलती रहेगी, बट दैट इज द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ द सोसाइटल नॉर्म्स. That is, they are separate, but we say we are together. And therefore, find out the willingness, find out the reasons. सामने वाला क्यों नहीं करना चाह रहा है. जब सामने वाला फालतू नहीं करना चाह रहा है तो नहीं करेगा. अब मैं सोचूं कि मैं जो है, मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, तो कोई बहुत बड़ी बिग एक्ट्रेस के साथ में जो है रिलेशनशिप डेवलप करूं. चलो अमिताभ बच्चन के साथ रिलेशनशिप में डेवलप करूं, ठीक है. तो इन दैट केस हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल. कुछ उसके पीछे लॉजिक, कुछ रीजनिंग होना चाहिए, कुछ विलिंगनेस होनी चाहिए, कोई कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म होना चाहिए, कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना. तो देयर आर सर्टन स्टेप्स. इनिशिएटिंग के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग लिख रहा है, और यहाँ तो एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग ही ब्रेक हो गया. सामने वाला एक्सपेरिमेंट थोड़ी करना चाह रहा है आपके साथ, और यदि एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग ब्रेक हो गया है तो आप बॉन्डिंग तक कैसे पहुंचेंगे. मेरी सीढ़ियों को ध्यान रखिए. तो विलिंगनेस का कारण जानने की कोशिश कीजिए, और यदि वो प्रॉब्लम बाय एपोलॉजी है ना, यदि कोई आप हो सकता है कि आपने कुछ गलत कह दिया हो उसके कारण से हो, तो वो एपोलॉजी वगैरह करके वेज टू रिबिल्ड द रिलेशनशिप मैंने ऑलरेडी मेंशन किया है, उन स्लाइड्स को फॉलो कीजिए. अदरवाइज तो बाय बाय कर दीजिए कि भाई ठीक है, दैट इज बेटर.
So the other question by Shardul Nath Tiwari is, as someone trying to be included in a group, how does one justify the line between coming up as talented or too talented as a positive illusion, and how to regulate oneself to stay within the line?
Very good question. Develop the competency. Identify by knowing the people. है ना, एचआर वाले क्या कहते हैं, एचआर वाले कहते हैं हम तो उड़ती चिड़िया के पर पहचान लेते हैं कि इसके कितने पर हैं. What it means? It means that when you want to involve somebody into the group, please test, take the examination, give some task, let us see the task is done with the quality, task is done timely, and therefore the trust building. This is called the trust building exercise. So for trust building exercise, there will be the positive effect, there will be negative effect. What is this पाना? Positive effect means कुछ काम दिया है, टाइमली करके दिया है, बहुत अच्छे ढंग से करा है, होमवर्क बहुत बढ़िया किया है, और तो वो ग्रुप में वेलकम. ऐसे आदमी तो चाहिए भाई, आपके जैसे आदमी तो चाहिए हैं ग्रुप में. और न तो काम ढंग से किया है, घास काट के रख दी है, उसके बाद में न टाइमली दिया है, न कम्युनिकेट किया है, कोई जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम है तो वो भी नहीं बताया है. और जब धीरे धीरे इस टाइप से जब एक्सपीरियंस होता जाएगा तो उसको अपने ग्रुप में जो है वो इन्वॉल्व करने की जरूरत नहीं है. फिल्टर, मेक द फिल्टर्स ऑफ द ग्रुप इन्वॉल्वमेंट.
The next question by Sanjay Kumar: what are the strongest interpersonal skills one should have?
Yeah, first and foremost is emotional intelligence. भाई आपको जो है वो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस होनी चाहिए. सेकंड जो है वो ऑप्टिमिज्म. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. So that optimism is very, very important is there. Third is, that is the trust, happiness, forgiveness. क्षमा बड़न को चाहिए, छोटों को उत्पाद. तो करते हैं बच्चे, गड़बड़ करते हैं, परंतु उसके लिए उनको एक रीजनेबल पनिशमेंट दीजिए. ना दीजिए ये नहीं कहूंगा मैं, जरूर दीजिए, पर रीजनेबल पनिशमेंट हो, not more, not less, so that has to be sustained. So therefore in sustainability, I think that is the trust, giving the happiness, दूसरों को खुशी देना, हमेशा ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रहना, इमोशनली स्टेबल रहना कि भाई ये हो गया तो ठीक, नहीं हुआ तो ठीक है. अब हर किसी पर्सन इज ह्यूमन बीइंग, आई अंडरस्टैंड, पर भाई इतना ओवर रिएक्ट मत करो. R&R, don't react, respond. That is important.
So the next question by Siddharth Bhargav: can storming have some kind of arbitration, because compromise is not always the alternative? Also, not everyone has a butna.
Under the Industrial Dispute Act 1947, right, there are the dispute resolution practices. So what are the dispute resolution practices? फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इज द मीटिंग, कि सामने वाले के साथ मीटिंग कीजिए। लोग उसको भी अवॉइड करते हैं, मैं क्यों जाऊं उसके पास, मैं क्यों बात करूं, नहीं, आप मीटिंग कॉल कीजिए, मीटिंग में डिस्कस कीजिए, मीटिंग में इश्यू रिजॉल्व हुआ तो फाइन, जब यदि वो मीटिंग में रिजॉल्व नहीं हुआ है तो फिर आर्बिट्रेटर को रखिए। आर्बिट्रेटर आएगा, कौन होता है आर्बिट्रेटर? लेबर ऑफिसर नॉर्मली आर्बिट्रेटर होता है। एम्प्लॉयर और एम्प्लॉय के बीच में यदि कोई रिलेशनशिप में डिस्प्यूट हो जाता है, इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट की बात है, तो इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट में आर्बिट्रेटर हो जाता है, तो वो तो हो जाता है गवर्नमेंट हो जाता है। पर जैसे मैंने बताया कि हस्बैंड और वाइफ के बीच में डिस्प्यूट है, तो कृपया किसी भी सास को इन्वॉल्व ना करें। लाइटर साइड इन्वॉल्व कीजिए। आपको लगता है कि आपकी सास जो है वो आर्बिट्रेशन अच्छा कर सकती है, आई डोंट माइंड, आई एम नॉट सेइंग, आई एम नॉट हैविंग डाउट ऑन योर मदर इन लॉ। सो कहने का मतलब है कि सरकार को बुलाने पे सरकार जो है वो दोनों को डंडे लगाएगी। भाई आपने गलत किया आपको भी डंडे लगाएगी, उसको गलत किया उसको भी डंडे लगाइए। डंडे खाने से क्या मतलब है? इसलिए बेटर है कि मीटिंग ही करके आपस में अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप करके और इसको रिजॉल्व किया जाए, और आर्बिट्रेशन जब तक जरूरी ना हो तब तक किया जाए। परंतु यदि आर्बिट्रेटर भी कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा है तो फिर आपको कोर्ट में जाना होता है, उसको बोलते हैं एडजुडिकेशन। सो काउंसलिंग, दैट इज अ मीटिंग, counseling, arbitration, and then adjudication. These are the three steps are there that should come one by one, not directly adjudication. सीधा कोर्ट में डाइवर्स का केस फाइल करने का जरूरत नहीं है, पहले बात कर लो भाई, मीटिंग करो, काउंसलिंग कर लो, फिर वो भी नहीं हुआ किसी को बीच में डाल दो, जैसे ऐसा तो नहीं है, पर पहले यदि आपस में हो जाए तो वो बेहतर, वो बेस्ट स्टेज है।
So the next question by Samna is, during storming, basically we negotiate our interest. How to drive a conclusion without any loss of interest?
Without any
Loss of interest.
loss
Loss
of
of interest. Yes, sir.
no, then definitely that is called the negotiation. अपने यहाँ MBA में पढ़ाते हैं ना हम लोग कि negotiation, and for that what you have to create, you have to create a negotiation zone, कि आप ये चाहते हैं, आप 20 चाहते हैं, ये जो है वो 5 देने को तैयार हैं, तो फिर there will be the negotiation. नेगोशिएशन किसने में होगा? 5 और 20 के बीच में होगा, तो 5 और 20 का बीच का नेगोशिएशन जोन क्रिएट कीजिए, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड दी नेगोशिएशन प्रैक्टिसेस। सो डेवलप द नेगोशिएशन, ये वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन है वैसे ये एक्चुअली, कि who will smartly be able to maintain the relationship without loss of interest, कि आप गुड नेगोशिएटर हो, क्या दिया और क्या लिया, तो वो यदि आपने बैलेंस कर दिया तो फिर डेफिनेटली फिर तो कोई लॉस ऑफ इंटरेस्ट की वो नहीं है।
So there are series of questions, and I think so it will. The time is very less, and sir, rather I would request you and take your permission if I could give your email ID to the students so that directly they can take advice from you at any point of time regarding any question, any
Yes,
research work, anything, sir.
they
Because sir,
can
आपको
meet
आपकी
directly or they can talk
yes,
to you, and
yes,
then you can also solve. Anyways,
yes, sir, yes,
so
sir,
no problem, but
yes.
I want to see the what is the last number of registration. Oh, 69.
Yes,
Anyway,
sir.
I do
Sir,
not know.
students are also watching you on YouTube.
Okay, so fine.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
hope that it was the time which we spent together. It was happy hours.
Yes, 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 of course, sir. And we are enlightened with your words, knowledge. And
And,
thank you, sir, for accepting my invitation in short notice. And
but I thank you especially Professor Prabjot Kaur, that she was after me that sir ये session लेना है. She coordinate very well, and I'm very happy. God bless you, Professor
sir,
Kaur.
as you have already quoted in the session that it is all the teamwork. And so the idea was initiated by Honorable VC sir. I thank him from this platform. Directors have guided us with all the routine answers, routine queries. And sir, enthusiastic system manager, Mr. Abhishek Nagar, he has done wonderful efforts. And sir, Sita Lakshmi ma'am, coordinator of Vemidar, and all the dignitaries, galaxies of intellectuals, all the professors, because it all takes the teamwork to make this event happen. So, sir, the credit goes to the entire team, sir, for this.
Right. So follow the pattern 2.
Yes, sir.
पैटर्न 2 इज द बेस्ट पैटर्न. धीरे धीरे चलिए, धीरे धीरे चलिए, रिलेशनशिप बनाइए. परंतु उसमें भी डिक्लाइनिंग तो होगा ही, क्योंकि वो स्टॉर्मिंग है, दो पर्सनालिटीज हैं तो उसमें होगा ही. बट आई विश दैट इज माय स्टूडेंट्स विल हैव a good relationship in professional life also and in personal life also. God bless them. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
My thanks to VC Saab also.
Thank you.